think you were needed that light on. In that suit. Wait, are we online?
Yep, we're online. I think we're live. Hello! Boy's drawing a little anime while I get stuff set up over there.
Yep, that's true.
I think we're ready to go. What's going on? Hello, peoples! Hey, welcome to this week's episode of The Artistic Biker. Last time on The Artistic Biker, we did a brief talk about nudity on the social media, and we did the Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls. This is the Earth Mother. I forget the name of this thing, but this is one of the oldest known sculptures in the world. And when they talk about we got to curb nudity in art, nudity is art. But I did Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls. I think Girl 2 prompted me to put the necklace from Titanic on her. So that's what we did last week. This week I'd like to talk a little bit about light. I don't know where you are in the world. I know where I am in the world. It's winter time. If you're in Australia, you're living the dream there, because you've got daylight and summertime, and you're at the beach and you're having a good time. And I'm ready for that. I am. And I live in Houston. We're here in Houston, America, where the winter times are nowhere near as extreme as they are in other parts of the United States and the world. So, you know, it's cold here to me in the 50s. When the temperature drops below 60, I've got socks on with my sandals. Kia says it's the Venus of Willendorf. I could not think of that. I was on the spot trying to think of. I've got the smartest friends online. Anyway, I was completely drawn a blank. Venus of Willendorf. This thing is called the Venus of Willendorf. So anyway, so when it gets down into the.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Dancing.
Happy little bird. So when it gets down in the 50s here, I've got socks on with my sandals, because I've acclimated to the Houston weather. And you know, it got up to 72 today. It's going to get up to about 70 tomorrow, and then over the weekend it's going to drop down into the 30s at night and the high of 60, and then it'll be back in the 70s again. I mean, winter's basically over for us, except for the length of the days. The days are still fairly short. I'm still not getting enough sunlight, and I'm missing it. So I kind of want to journal about that. Hey, Pamela French and Kia, and getting a crowd. So I kind of wanted to journal about that a little bit. So with that, let's turn the page and get started. Whew. Well, how's everybody doing? I don't get to chat with my besties very much. I tell you though, I'm ready for summer. The wife, one of the things that I was able to woo my wife down to Houston with was the idea that we are 45 minutes away from a beach. 45 minutes, we're an hour away from a good beach. Really nice one, private beach. Not private, but all the houses around there, it's not. I mean, the public can go there, but the public doesn't go there. So it's a nice beach. One of her teacher friends, one of the wife's teacher friends, has a beach house, and she opens it to us quite frequently, and that's really nice. And they're not nearly as expensive as I imagined them to be. You know, I'm thinking the things cost millions of dollars. My parents found one for sale for about $165,000. Granted, it's a shoebox. It's a mobile home on stilts.
Can I borrow the blue?
Are you ready for paint already?
Yeah.
Give me just a second. Here,
okay.
two things at the same time. Granted, it's a it's a mobile home on stilts, but there's nothing wrong with that. If that's all you need, if that's all you need to do, then that's all you need. I mean, the first house we lived in was 750 square feet, and it was perfect, except when the kids started getting bigger. Yeah, it's a water cup. It was perfect, except when no, it's water for your paints.
Sorry.
What was I talking about?
Something about
the house. 750 square feet was perfect as long as it was just a couple of us. And that's the way it is for my folks. They're retired, so it's just the two of them. But it was actually, the one they were looking at was about 1,200 square feet. And that's pretty nice for a beach house.
I had fun in your paint.
Oh, then use this one.
Okay.
Let me dry this real quick. But you know, it used to be you needed a place big enough for a couch and a chair and a television and a radio. And then you had to have a kitchen and a dining room, and you had to have bedrooms and multiple bathrooms. And everybody needed space, and the truth of the matter is now we have these big flat screen TVs, and we have my radio and everything's in my phone. So I don't need, you know, my radio and everything's in my phone. Oh, my computer's in my phone. I don't need much more space than that. You get chairs that fold up and hang under a bar, and get a couch that folds out into a futon. You could live pretty happily in a 1,000 square foot house. As long as you got to go out and put your feet in the ocean every day. I don't really want them to do that though, because that house is 2 hours away from here, and when they move down here, I don't want them to be 2 more hours. I don't want them to be 2 hours away. They're 8 hours away now. If they move down here, I don't want them to be 2 hours away. I want them to be 15 minutes away. I want the kids to be able to ride bicycles over to their house. Or at least close enough that we can reasonably have dinner with them, an impromptu dinner with them. So I wanted to talk a little bit about light tonight, because the lack of light is driving me insane. And light is funny. The way light acts. I don't know. You took the flashlight back, but that's okay. I've got another light. I told you to take the flashlight back. I have a light on my phone. Well, we'll just use your light. The way light hits that. Let's look at how light hits that shape right there. And that's almost not got this light on. That's almost the perfect example. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. If I can remember. Yeah, look at me zooming in like a boss. So if you can see that the light is hitting it right there, that's the direction the light's coming in. That's the direction here. I'm going to move over so you can see my hand. That's the direction the light is coming in from. That's the direction the light is coming in from, and then it's bouncing. This surface is this way, so the light is bouncing off that way. But this surface, you are looking at it from above, and so you are seeing the light reflected straight up. I'm looking at it from an angle here, so I'm seeing that highlight over on this side, because that's where the light is hitting and bouncing at me, and that's where the light is hitting and bouncing at you. But the shadows and everything are still the same. So you've got the shadow of the object, you have reflected light, you have bent light, That's bent light. That's not even reflective light. That's bent light. Then you have reflective light here, and then you have the core shadow, and then you have the shadow where it's not as dark because it's reflecting over here. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things going on here. You have, of course, this may not be the best example. Let's find one. Give me that new orange. That doesn't have any spray paint or anything on it. And it'll let you see where this not only has the light reflected off the paper of it, but because the light is not reflecting at us, it's not as bright. It's not as colorful. It's not as bright. And it's funny how light works like that. So that's kind of what I wanted to journal about and play with it. And so that's what we're going to be doing tonight, is playing with light and shape, and how light bends, what light does. You know, I know they've known for hundreds of years that the lack of light depresses people. You know, there was an episode of what was the name of that show?
Star Trek?
No. Where they were in Canada, and it's not Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is the bar with the boobs. What was the name of that show? He was like a New York doctor or something, and he went up to some small village in Canada, small town in Canada. Northern Exposure. That's what it was. Northern Exposure. And there's one episode that just really always stood out for me, and it was the episode in summertime. They were north enough in the summer to not have nighttime, because when you get far enough north or far enough south in the summertime, the sun never sets. And he was just crazy, going crazy, like he was on cocaine or speed, just always going. Couldn't sleep, couldn't relax, couldn't do anything, just always going and going, because the light was bothering him that much. And they finally got him settled down by putting him into a very, very dark room, and he slept for 3 days. I don't know how realistic that is, because without drugs he'd still have to get up and go to the bathroom, right? That's what the yellow made me think of. When I paint, I like to put something like this right in the direction where I want the light to come from, so that I can always use it as a reference. So I'm going to set that right there, and that always remind me. Of course, I have the light coming from that side, but I'm going to use it to kind of guide me. But if I were painting on that canvas behind me, that canvas behind me, I would mount something in one of the corners to remind me which direction I wanted the light to come from, so that I could illuminate the object correctly. You know, maybe I want the light coming from the side, maybe I want the light coming from directly in front, maybe I want the light coming from behind, but I would move the object to remind me as I'm painting, so I could visualize where the light was coming from. So I do that with my book too, because I'm not really smart enough to keep track of all that in my mind.
Okay, there's my paintbrush.
What is it?
I forgot where I put my paintbrush.
Oh my goodness. So let's start with, I don't know, let's start with a cylinder. Where is my, there's my Sharpie. Let's start with a cylinder. So you have a cylinder like this. I don't know, let's just draw a cylinder on here. You have a cylinder like this. We're looking at the bottom of the cylinder. We can't see the top of the cylinder. We don't have to be very specific. Then what color is our cylinder going to be? Let's just use blues. Where's my, I need paper. Here we go. That's not what I wanted to have. Hand me the blue, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
What about the orange?
I'll get there. Yeah, I'll need it eventually. I'm going to use a little bit of blue. And then I'm going to use a little bit of red. And a little bit of black. And a little bit of white. Just a touch of white, not a whole lot of white. And not all at once. So let's look at this. The way the light hits this cylinder, if I held this cylinder the same way, then I can see that this is the bluest part. Now I'm not going to paint that. I'm not going to paint that blue. Let's use this then. So if you look at this, is the yellowest part because that's where the light is hitting, right? So if I go to this side is not as yellow as everything else, is it? Right? And then if I go, I may not need the red and black just yet, and it's a little bit darker, but if I go to this side, it's definitely not as light as anything else. So let's go to this side.
I messed up his mic.
Fix it.
Not really.
Right? And then the bottom, I have the same thing going on there, like that. But then I have light here. So, but then right here is where the body is casting its own shadow. See where the body is casting its own shadow right there? And then you can see the reflected light on this side, and you can see the body casting its own shadow. So let's take more direct approach there. And because it's shiny, these things are pretty explicit. They're pretty direct. There's lines. If it were not shiny, there would be a transition, but because it's shiny, there's no transition.
Daddy, I drew you.
Cool. Pikachu, I choose you.
I drew you. You know what? I'm just going to add a Pokeball by you. Pikachu! Sorry.
You see how that gives it depth and shape? Now I don't know all of the technique. I don't know all the science behind it. I don't know everything. I know everything about it, but I know that when the light hits it, this is where the light hits it. Oh, you know what we need? We need a highlight line. I'm going to put a highlight line right there. Like that. And then I'm going to dry it. I just think it's pretty neat how light does that. The light will bend around stuff. The light will stick to stuff, and they don't know why. They can't really figure out what light is. They've done a lot of experiments. You know, the speed of light's what, 300 million meters per second, somewhere around there. Some people say it's 298, 299. Some say it's 312. They have an accurate measurement, but they've been trying to measure it for over 100 years using mirrors and cogs and known distances. But they don't really know what causes light to act the way light acts. what on you?
Camera.
Why would I do that? I probably should have done that while I was drying this. So how does this apply to art? How does this apply to what you're doing? Not only does it work with your objects, but when you, here's the next phase here. Let's look at this real quick here. Give me just a second. You'd think I would have been more prepared than this. But you know.
Every art just takes their time.
That is just not our way to be that prepared. Ooh, goodness.
Okay, I messed up. Pikachu's here.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Neither do I.
Okay, let's just leave it like that.
Okay, I fixed it.
So,
Hold on.
if I take and I put and I do this. So blue. And then let's put.
Done.
Are you done?
Yeah. I even wrote a title.
Let's look at it. Where are you? There. Hold it up to the camera.
Hold up, is this upside down?
No. All right. Why is that in the way all of a sudden? That shouldn't be in the way. That's not helping. There we go. What was the title?
Pikachu, I choose you.
Pikachu, I choose you.
Daddy. I didn't finish writing Daddy. I can already tell who is sketching.
Can you now?
Uh-huh.
It's hard because I'm having to sketch it in reverse. I didn't reverse the image, so.
Kim says hello there.
I know, I've seen. Hey, Cam! Caught us doing a little talk about light. Can't talk, Artie.
Yeah.
So now let's look at this. Let's look at what these shapes are doing. Because they're all different shapes, right? So I have a circle. I have a circle here, a sphere if you will, that has, it's too much paint, that has this going on. It's still too much paint. That has this going on. And there is a little bit of transition because my skin is not smooth and shiny. And then I have a shadow here on this side. Right? And then I have a shadow under my eyeball. I have a shadow caused by my nose. I have a shadow on this side of my actual eyeball. And on this side of my brow, this side of my brow, I have a shadow under my hat that starts over here, goes around over there. I have a shadow that goes down this part of my nose like this, and there. And then I have reflective light there, there. I have shadow here. Ooh, red. Cool. And I have shadow here. And I have shadow here. Here. I have shadow here from my glasses. I have shadow here. No, I don't. No, I don't. There's no shadow there. There's a little bit of shadow here. Here. It's much darker there. And there's reflected light here. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Make my beard. Can't talk, Arting. So, you know, and then I have to pepper it with the gray. Every year it takes more gray. So what makes it funny to me is how it starts as you go. The shadows don't make sense. The lines, if you just do the lines don't make sense. The shadows don't make sense. And you're sitting there going, what's he doing? Why would he make that choice? Let me dry a little bit of that, and let's come back to it. Kid left me, so I can't switch over to his picture. But I tell you, this lack of sunlight is driving me nuts. I need some more white. This lack of sunlight is driving me nuts. We're talking about how light moves and bends and stuff, but black of it makes you tired. You need some more black too. Can't talk, Harding. Alright. Did I try that already? I did. I dropped the orange on the floor. I've got to pick the orange up real quick. And I'll need some black probably to finish this up. Just need a little bit of orange because my hat is kind of a cream color. And so I need, I don't know how paint gets all over everything in my studio. I don't know how it happens. So okay, so I had a commission, and I can't seem to bring myself to do anything. A guy comes up to me and says, I want you to watercolor a landscape. He brings me a picture of his house, and this is a good friend of mine. I've known him for years, and he says, you know, I want you to paint a picture of this house. This is the house that my mother-in-law lived in when she was married, when, you know, and she loves this place, and I need black. I'm going to need some black. You know, we'd love to give this to her. She's about to turn 90 something, and I'd like to give this to her. And yeah, sure, I can paint a picture like that. And I just can't find motivation to do anything. Just can't seem to find the motivation. You perceive shadows and color by what is next to it. And so when you change the colors that are next to it, sorry, can't talk. When you change the colors that are next to it, you change the perception of the color. But anyway, I just can't seem to bring myself to do the watercolor. And it's not because I don't want to do the watercolor. I can't bring myself to do anything. I'm not drawing naked people. Doing anything. All right. I'm going to stop. I'm going to do what's on your easel. I think that's a good place to stop right there. We're going to stop and we're going to do what's on your easel. What's on your easel? What's on your easel? What's on your easel today? Okay, so first off, last week we were talking about eyeballs. We were talking about, if you remember, Girl 2 was out here painting with us, and she was painting her anime thing, and she was trying to decide what color her eyeballs should be, and she painted her little flaming red head, and then Pamela French pops up with, well, my daughter's eyes are blue and gold, and then she sends a picture, and you guys have to see this picture. This young lady is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Look at her, how pretty she is. I bet she's just sharp as a whip. But look how pretty she is. That flaming red hair, goodness. I bet she gives you all kinds of fits. Anyway, but look at her eyeballs. One of them's blue, one of them's gold. That's nice. She's really pretty. Really pretty. Even my daughter said she's really pretty. And then, okay, and then Cam sent, now Cam comes to us from Dana, what was Dana's last name? He's a, look, quick, hurry, look, no, it's my beautiful young bride. Hi, beautiful young bride.
I'm not embarrassed.
Why we love you?
Because I mean,
you're not wearing anything from where I'm sitting. Somebody in the chat room is undressing you with their eyes, because from where I'm standing, naked. Love her.
I don't know where I'm looking.
There. So, Cam came to us from a YouTube channel that does a lot of Bob Ross inspired stuff. And she found a comment of mine, and she followed the link last week, and lo and behold, we were online. We were live. And so she sends a picture that is Bob Ross inspired. And look at what she was painting. And look how beautiful that is. And she's got all the tenants in there. She's got happy little trees. She's got cliffside mountains. She's got clouds. She's got a water feature. She has... Is that a speedboat? Loch Ness Monster. But look how nice that is. Look how beautiful that is. I just love it. I just love it when people paint. I love seeing other people's works. I just love it. And so Pamela sent this week. It's loading. You'd think, avert your eyes, it may be porn. Okay, so let's read what she said. She says, greeting card, mixed media, closed front, open inside, and open outside the envelope. Okay, so she's got the, so it's a greeting cards, mixed media. This is the closed front in order. The closed front, the open inside, and then the open outside the envelope. So here we go. Here's the closed front. This is a greeting card. This is the open inside. What's that say? Believe, adore, good, beautiful. Believe's got a heart, a lot of family, love, family, beautiful, heart, forever, adore, believe, life. And so that's the inside of the card. And then this is the outside of the card, opened up and laying flat. And I don't know what the card is for. Oh wait, what is this? Oh, and this is the flap on the is this the flap on the envelope? Very nice. Very nice indeed. And Pamela, I know you probably don't want to talk much about it. I'm sure you're probably here to escape, but I can only tell you my heart's with you, my friend. And I'll leave it at that. So anyway, that's all that I have on easels. I don't even have anything on my easel. I didn't even go to figure drawing Tuesday night. And I fully attribute it to the doldrums of just day in, day out, no activity. Can't go outside and play because it's not nice weather. The days are too short. By the time you get done with the day job, it's too dark outside to go do anything. With you know, it's only just a few short weeks, and then it'll be back to crawfish season, and life will be good again. So that's what was on my easel. That's what was on your easel. If you would like to be a part of what's on your easel, simply send an email to blade@artisticbiker.com with the subject line easel. We will use your works to inspire other people, because that is what this is all about. The whole point of all of this is to encourage people to get up and go do something, even if it's only this. Even if you don't do your daily drawings like you're supposed to. You know what? I've been reading this book. It's called Eat the Frog. It's a crazy name for a book, but the name of the book is Eat the Frog. And the concept is that if you have stuff you need to get done, and part of what you have to do is you have to eat a frog, as bad as that is, as gross as it sounds, and then you know that you're not going to enjoy that, then you should eat that frog first thing in the morning. Very first thing of the day, eat that frog and get it over with. Then your day can only get better from there. So what I have to get back into the practice of course, for me, the actual eating of the frog would be the getting out from under the covers in the morning, you know, because the house is cold. But if I can get out from under the covers and then do my morning gestures and practice, then there's Adam. Then that's the frog I have to eat. So first thing in the morning, get out from under the covers and eat the frog, and then the whole day gets better from there. And that's the whole problem, is I'm not eating the frog. I'm not doing the work that I set out for myself to do. And so,
hi
Adam. Do you need paper?
No, I just come to be a part of it.
Oh,
I should have came out earlier.
you should have. You can still draw and paint if you want to.
Okay.
We were talking about light.
Talking about light?
Mm-hmm.
What about light?
How light bounces off of stuff and bends around stuff.
Well, I need a suggestion on what to draw.
A frog.
Draw a frog.
Draw a frog.
Okay.
Do you need a picture of a frog?
I can do it.
You have your phone.
Yep.
Okay. So Adam's going to draw a frog. This is the girl one's boy toy. How do you say son in Spanish?
Good man. Good man.
Oh my goodness. New Year's
Was interesting.
New Year's.
To say the least.
I got so... Okay, hand me the fireball.
Oh God.
I'm not drinking it. No,
Okay.
no.
I'm like, wait.
This is candy whiskey. Avoid this. It's just candy. It's just sugar. Cam says, draw me like your French friend. Draw a frog like one of your French girls.
I can do it. Alright.
I need some yellow.
I've never drawn a frog before, so here we go.
Well, there you go. Everybody's got to start. Same.
I'm excited.
That is non-serviceable. Let's add some more paper underneath that, because
I need to
tears getting it all
get so
over.
sharp. Oh, never mind. It's in front of my face.
It's in front
Just
of your
kidding.
face. Okay. I don't know how paint gets everywhere. I just can't seem to figure out how the paint gets all over the studio.
I think this pencil might be for children, like not adults. Let's do this one.
I'm not really sure how that changes things.
Well,
And no, there's another hole in the pencil sharpener. There's two holes. One hole does that, and then the other hole makes it pointy.
look at you knowing what you're talking about.
Right?
Alright. This is gonna be terrible.
Is it? You know, Henry Ford said, whether you think you're a success or a failure, either way you're right.
Well, I'm gonna say that I'm a success.
Well, there you go. So it's not going to be terrible. I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a little pink. Just a little bit of...
Maybe I should have went with like a more beginning.
Maybe a little
frog.
purple. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add that to the. Well, that's dumb. You can come back over here. See the dumb thing I just did. That's dumb.
I killed a spider. Just saved our lives.
Yay!
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Truly do.
Well, I can't scream like a little girl on camera.
Can't.
Well,
Shouldn't.
shouldn't. There we go. That's better.
Can't, will, and shouldn't are three totally different words. Are you laughing?
Yes, I'm laughing at myself.
Yeah.
My frog has really long leg, like a long leg so far.
My frog has a long leg.
Yes. Let's just say that. That's a long leg. Oh, frog is hard. Whose idea was this? This is terrible.
Frog, you want a quart and eat it, right? Frog, you want a quart and eat it, right? I like to do this with the big brushes. The big brushes take away a lot of the micro painting and make it where you really just have to focus on what your goal is. When you get down to the smaller brushes, then you can spend too much time on the details. We don't want to spend too much time on the details. We just want essence of blade, right? That's the goal, essence of blade. So look at how the shadows, look at how we did the shadows. The round things have round shadows, but the whole, if you squint and look at the whole thing started off as a column, and you can still see how we shaded the column first, and you can still see how that affected the shape of the whole thing. And then here's a column, and we shaded this column the same way, and then here's a sphere, and we shaded this sphere this way, and here's a sphere, and we shaded the sphere, and here's a sphere, and here's a sphere. And you can see how it makes all the shapes on the face for us. Pamela says the ghost bee in the background should be a pot of crawfish. I've painted crawfish before. I probably should do it again.
We should probably eat crawfish.
They're advertising. The crawfish restaurants are starting to advertise that they have crawfish. Crawfish season is starting.
And I'm so excited.
I know, right?
I'm so excited.
I'm down. Man. Totally down for some crawfish. I got a crawfish cooker for Christmas. But I just cannot wait to get started with. Cannot wait to get started with. So for New Year's, my illustrious son-in-law over here, girl one's boy toy. Hey, look, there's girl.
Can you tell that it's a frog?
Yes.
I'm excited.
Look.
About myself.
No,
Girl
they can't see
two.
half of me.
I was told one daughter at a time. But you see what's happening?
Look at his drawing.
She's too big to come out here and actually art with us anymore. She's too big.
I have to go wash half my face and then I can.
Okay, yes. I like it. I think you should only wear half at a time.
Only half?
Yes. Why not?
How about I just don't wear any at all?
Well,
Good stuff. I know, right? Oh crap. Camera's still facing this way.
You have the camera to not face that way.
No, we don't need to see my athlete makeup job.
We can put the camera back over here.
Hello. It's a good frog.
Well, thanks. This is the first time I've ever drawn a frog, so
It's good.
we're going with it.
My frogs always look bad because I can't draw mine.
Me either. Look at mine.
Yours are fine!
But look at, it's funky one way and then the other
Maybe
one
because you
isn't.
made this one too long.
You know what? One of my frog's legs is bigger than the other.
It's okay. Everybody has one
Variations.
leg that's longer.
Variations happen.
Right.
Look, I have one arm longer than the other.
Uh-huh. So do I.
No, I think mine are the same.
No, mine aren't. Well, Boo, how are you?
Well, hi, boo-boo.
And Winnie.
Hi, Winnie, boo-boo head.
You never come out here. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my face and I'll be right back. Yeah! Food!
Mama be home in a little bit, boo. Mama be home in just a little bit. I got a picture of him all, like, hugged up next to me,
Yeah?
and I sent it to my girl toy. Maybe that's safe to say. And she was like, "Oh, my sweet boy." Like, I know. And then there's Boo. She's like, "No, I was talking about Boo." Well, that's rude.
Grandpa,
Yeah, baby.
can I paint with you?
Yes.
Let me get you a piece of paper. Let's not
Let me
draw.
scoop this a little
It's right here.
close.
Okay, Jennifer.
Here we go.
There you go.
You'll have to get the acrylic away from it.
Oh, okay. I'm
Is
okay
it
with
okay
that.
if I have these?
One at a time. Okay? So we don't dry them out. Okay?
Okay, let me get. This is not my paintbrush.
Oh, which one's your paintbrush? That one? Okay. Be sure you rinse it out in this cup.
Can't talk. Arting. So, okay, so my
There you go.
son-in-law over here
I need the white. too.
swore off Fireball
White.
for New Year's,
Have
but
Tell my mother.
I'm not telling your mother.
Okay.
She's probably watching.
Oh, man.
And so we had to finish what Fireball we had, and we actually went and bought more Fireball because he didn't have enough Fireball to get him through the end of the end of the night. So we went and got him some more Fireball, and that's what we did, was shots of Fireball. And
That's what you did.
oh my God, I shot a whole bottle by myself.
You shot a bunch by
I
yourself.
shot a bunch by myself. And so, next thing I know, we're outside watching the fireworks. I'm at least 4 sheets to the wind, if not more.
I was about to say, I mean,
Maybe 8 sheets.
4
to the
is
wind.
putting it nicely. Hey.
And
Oh, okay. Don't dip it in a
we're
different
watching the
color.
neighbors shoot fireworks, and I said, "Let's go meet the neighbors." And
He doesn't
Gra-
remember anything.
grabbed a
after that.
couple of beers and went over to the neighbor's house, and they handed me a
It's right here. I about to say I moved it
solo
so it would dry.
red solo cup full of stuff. I don't remember anything after
Go
that,
eat.
but I have
Go eat. This will be here when you're done.
Scars.
Go eat.
It'll be back.
Go eat.
Hurry, quick, run. The quicker you get in there, the faster you eat.
but I have scars.
And I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember much. My daughter has a
It's
very different memory of it than I do, because she cleaned us up and put us to bed.
No. She didn't clean us up. I went to bed perfectly fine.
Oh.
Because you drank my whole bottle of Fireball without me. I had a pint and you had a liter.
Anytime.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
So it was interesting, to say the least.
So, I have not had much of an interest in alcohol since then. I mean, I've had a couple of beers. I tried to put a shot of rum in my coffee a week later, and
It wasn't time.
No, it wasn't. I'm not there yet. I'm not.
It was a good time. It's a good time.
So I saw the neighbors out today.
Well, did you say hi?
Yeah, I did.
I remember.
I waved at the neighbors. And
I remember a few of them, but you know, their names. I couldn't even tell you even now, even though you asked 45 times how to say son-in-law in Spanish.
Right.
I still can't remember how you say son-in-law in Spanish.
Nope. How do you say anybody? Hey, I've got some of the smartest people in the world watching the show. They can tell us. How do you say son-in-law in Spanish? Somebody will look it up and tell us.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that was the all night long. Hey, this is my son-in-law. He's a good guy.
You did. You told everyone that I was such a good guy.
He's a good guy. He didn't know nothing about love, though. He thinks he's in love, but he's so young.
I was
stupid.
I was young and stupid. I'm sure those people were like, "What in the world is happening?"
I'm just going through and putting some highlights in now. I don't have the picture up anymore, so I don't have much to go off of. But I think that's about it right there. And then I am gonna darken up around the edge there. Cam said, "You paint with such confidence." Thank you, Cam. That's because I'm having a good time. I'm not as concerned about what the outcome's going to be because I'm having a good time. And because of that, I can just enjoy the process.
Oh, I see what's happening.
Without fear of messing it up. I can't mess it up because I don't know what it's going to look like. What the world is going on there? But I can't mess it up because I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Alright, let's see what that looks like. That even look like me? I can't even tell. I can't tell if that looks like me or not. Like I said, I can't mess it up because we don't really know what we're trying to do. Hijo en la ley. Is that right? Is that what they said?
Hijo en la ley?
En la ley.
Oh, no.
Hijo en la ley. Hi, Joe in la ley. Es mi hajo en la ley.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sticking with that. I like that.
Sounds about right.
Hijo en la ley. Son-in-law. Son in the law. Ni hijas esposo. All right. What should we say about this? Should we call this done? I mean, I could sit here and mess with this forever. There's always something you can do. There's always something else you can do to it. I'm leaving it like that. Bye, Cam. It was good seeing you. We'll be back next week. Okay. Okay. I don't know what to say. What should we say?
I wasn't out here long enough to paint. So, this is where I'm at.
Look at you go with your upside down frog.
Oh, shoot.
First frog ever.
Yeah, I mean, my frog looks a little special.
It looks like a frog.
But it's on a tree. See what I did there?
Hi, Miss Allie. How long have you been here?
The legs are kind of funky.
Sneaking in. Sneaking. You know what? I bought this quote book. Where's my quote book?
What are you doing back there, dog? What you doing? Go in there.
Where you been, Pablo?
Let's see.
We might find presents later.
They're just little tiny gifts.
Index of subjects and keywords.
First frog ever.
Nice. Because they're eating it faster than
Oh, okay.
it can cool off.
Okay.
Self-help, self-made man, self-respect. Well, I like self-respect. Let's see.
Shoot, how am I supposed to sit down?
1,528.
Well, there's that. And my first frog ever.
In order to preserve your self-respect, it's sometimes necessary to lie and cheat. No.
I see what you did there.
1870.
Boo, go on.
I'm
Mad at me?
1870.
Oh.
Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent.
That's accurate.
It is, but
No, it's not.
an intellectual is a person whose mind watches itself.
Okay. Unless you need these paints open.
I love this book. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. The average person thinks he isn't.
I don't think Blue had one.
Ooh, let's see.
Yes, it is.
Nope.
Let's see if we can find a
But look
word,
at it though.
a
I
phrase
think the
for
black
blue.
was covered up before that. Smell what I'm sticking in.
Blue, B-I. Nope, there's nothing for blue.
B-I. Wait, what?
Look at B-I, B-O. There's nothing for blue. How about color? C-O. No, nothing for color. Several for change.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's go with something simple like New Year, New Me. But I don't want to do New Year, New Me. New Year's is over.
No,
New Year's is over. Cute frog. No, cute frog does. Oh, his is a cute frog. They think your frog is cute.
Thank you.
It is.
I worked really hard. I wasn't out here for very long.
No, you did a great job, and there's been very little time.
You got to find another drawing.
When I came out, that's what they said they wanted to see.
You've had time to.
I just have to make the people happy.
You've had time to watercolor it, but you chose to eat.
Well,
Well, if he doesn't eat this, there won't be any more because we like food and
What is it?
I had seconds. Mac and cheese with meat.
Oh, it's Paw Patrol mac and cheese.
I love mac
It's
and
good.
cheese.
Sorry, people.
How about depression? Lethargy.
Lethargy is the right word.
I thought it was. Lethargy. Lethargic. No quotes for lethargy. Lazy? Laziness. Sea sloth. Ooh, sea sloth. Sloth is my totem animal.
Well, then
so
make it a
that's good.
sloth.
This is the 2,548 best things anybody ever said. Oh, Miss Sally said, do they have handsome? I don't know. Let's see. Sloth.
Did you eat?
Yep.
Fine.
Sloth. Alright, hang on here.
I have to say goodbye because I have to go dad now.
433 to 435.
Is it okay if I paint?
No, it's okay if you come inside. Come
I
on.
love you.
Grandpa's almost done, baby.
It was such a lovely day, I thought it was a pity to get up.
Same.
The biggest sin is sitting on your ass.
Why
Laugh
don't
and the
you
world
paint?
laughs with you. Snore and you sleep alone. No, those aren't going to work. I'm thinking handsome is the way to go. Where was sloth? JK sloth. 452.
IJK sloth. What?
$4.52. There is no pleasure in having nothing to do. The fun is having lots to do and not doing it. Ooh, I like that one.
Oh, explains me.
There is no pleasure in having nothing to do. The fun is having lots to do and not doing anything. We're going to cheat, though.
How dare you cheat?
Miss Sally says, I love Paw Patrol mac and cheese.
Right?
There is no pleasure in having nothing to do pleasure comes from having lots to do, comma, and not doing any of it. Who said that? That's a good quote. John G. Raper. Is it not? John G? John W. John W. Raper.
That's what you said.
What?
John G.
I was wrong.
Okay.
There we go. Koala bear is my spirit animal. They sleep 18 to 22 hours a day. See? Where's my sloth? Here's my sloth. Look, I talked about sloth being my totem animal, and my friend Jamie Lynn sent me a sloth. I should have painted him. He sits right there and stares at me. It's okay.
They can't see where you're pointing.
They can too.
Oh, I thought you were pointing up here.
I was pointing up here. See?
Oof, okay.
Can you not see me pointing?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said anything.
Miss Sally said, do they have handsome? Let's see if they have handsome. I'm pretty sure they have handsome. Handsome starts with a G.
What?
Guapo. Senor Guapo. That's the Hispania. handsome. Nope, it goes from Halloween to hamburger to happiness. Hammer and nail. Goes from hammer and nail to happiness, so no handsome. Good. No good looking either. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? So here's the whole thing is the 18 to 22 hours a day. That's a long time. That just struck
That's
me.
me.
That's a long time to sleep.
I sleep until like 3.
You do, but you
in the
don't. But you don't
afternoon.
actually go to sleep until.
I do.
No, you sit up reading and stuff forever. So anyway, that's all we really wanted to do tonight. Play with some light, play with some form. Show the light bending around stuff, the light shading stuff. We'll probably go into more depth.
She's trying to kill me with water.
We'll go into more depth on how light plays with form on some other episodes. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Do you like when I talk about stuff like that? Would you prefer me just tell stories? Because the sad thing is that there is nothing going on. I mean, it's just go to work, come home, go to bed. It's just that exciting. Oh, hey, she's got an ensemble this weekend. Is it a performance or is it a...
No, it's the 2nd of February.
The 2nd of February she has a concert. What is it? It's not your spring concert.
It's my ensemble.
Is it your Emil concert? Are you guys Wiccan? What?
No, it's the ensemble.
It's Groundhog Day ensemble.
Yes.
Are you going to play the same thing over and over and over? That would be funny. That would be really funny. If you...
No, we're playing Allegro.
You're playing what?
Allegro.
Allegra? Doesn't that just mean loud?
Bro.
Doesn't Allegra mean loud?
Allegro. And it's a song.
Okay, doesn't Allegro mean loud?
I don't know. But it's me and my little group, and we're going to see if we can get... I think 1 is the best and 4 is the worst. I'm hoping.
Your little group?
Yeah, my little group.
Your chamber pot?
No. We're all split up.
Oh.
I got my
Oh, this is a contest.
Me.
It's not a concert, it's a contest.
Yeah, it's a contest with other middle schools.
Oh.
And then UIL is coming up too, and I'm scared.
So your concert, are you going to have another concert?
Concerts.
Are you going to have
a
spring?
while away.
You going to have a spring
Yeah,
concert?
that's like in March. It's a while away.
Spring?
Yeah. And then we have UIL coming up, which is a major contest.
I don't know what that is.
You think I know?
So-
I came from beginners.
So her music career is kicking off. She's a rock star. She plays double bass. You should see her. She leans over and she stands up on it.
I did not. I'd break it. My big feet don't stay on the thing. What note did you play?
All right, guys. What are you drawing?
A little dude?
Do you want to show it off?
Sure.
Where are you?
Up.
It's in your lap. Nobody can see what you're doing.
I always have my art in my lap.
Aliens.
No, him's a ghost.
Ghosts.
It's a cute baby ghost.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. You know this is my favorite night of the week when I get to art with my besties. I look forward to it every week. Be sure and tune in next week. So what do you want to talk about next week? What do we have? Is there anything going on next week?
What even
Tuesday.
is your birthday.
No, my birthday's Monday. Next Tuesday I will be a whole year older. We can talk about that. We can talk. Well, I should have done this then. Man.
Boy, Two's birthday is in 10 days.
His birthday's the day before mine.
It's in 10 days.
Sunday.
It's in 10 days.
We're gonna party down. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna
Yeah, I don't get anything like this
We're
for
gonna
my
party
birthday.
down. Anyway, we'll figure something out. Be sure and tune in next week. Same Artistic Biker time. Same Artistic Biker channel. And then we dance. We dance. Pamela says, I enjoyed this. I don't think about some of this anymore, but I find it very informative and pleasing. I have a friend that lives in Alaska, where
Is it the North Pole?
he works in Alaska 2 weeks at a time, then he comes home 2 weeks at a time, and he says he has to have light therapy while he's there in the wintertime because it's dark. He has to turn on day
Yeah,
lamps.
'cause there's no light.
But he has to have He has to spend time under a day lamp. Not just have the lights on, but have the day lamp on.
Fun.
He also sends me pictures of polar bears. He says when he goes outside, they all have a lanyard. They all have a rope tied to them with a D ring on it. And when he goes outside, the first thing they do is they hook onto a cable that's connected from building to building, and that way they can't be blown off course, because when it snows, they can't see 10 feet in front of them. And that's the first thing they do when they go outside. Oh, Miss Allie sees me dancing. Guys, thank you so much. Mwah. Freeze. Freeze. Be really still.